So I wonder, Luis, definitely in a M&A transaction, there's a due diligence process that you have to go through. We've seen in the news lately that many of those due diligence have been very, very bad. Definitely a terrible job that led to a lot of millions in loss. How was this due diligence process when you were working at the PE? What type of things were you looking for, and how does it help you integrate in a company already like Harvard?
Yeah, there's a pretty wide um, array of types of due diligence. I think a lot of it has to do with the deal itself. Um, and what I mean by that is sometimes when there is unique access to a deal
Mhm.
that you don't want that access to be open to others. A buyer has to move very quickly,
Yeah,
and because of that, right, like that really increases the pressure of due diligence, and a lot more work is done in a lot less time. um, it's very different if you are a part of a open bidding process that has clear, timelines, or if you have a unique relationship with a seller, right? That there's no real rush,
yeah.
that there's the availability to take time. Um, in my opinion, the least successful due diligence processes are are driven usually by a decision maker on the buying side, whether that's a CEO of the M&A buyer or even the private equity group, that is really passionate about a target company. And the passion comes from a unique perspective, or because there seems to be a pricing arbitrage, meaning they think it's underpriced, or it's a premium asset, right? Meaning it's hard to get. And then they kind of overlook the fundamentals, right? They overvalue the strategic positioning of the company, and they undervalue the economics, the model, the due diligence, right? Um, and so in those instances, usually, right, there's always a model created. There's evaluation of a book of business, financials, and management audits, and third party um, diligence and quality of earnings studies. But at the end of the day, like, the decision's already made, right? So all that work is kind of just to make sure there's nothing terrible. But in a good due diligence process, in my opinion, you know, there is the ability to really identify the reasons why the company is being purchased, and a validation of each one of those reasons, right? And not just a theoretical validation, but a validation of with the data, right? So it's a very thorough process in which difficult questions are asked, and assumptions are made, but at the end of the day, a buyer has to be willing to walk away.